Here we go. Hey, everything on 3. Number 3. Wait on 1. Oh. Wait on 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Hey, next up from that. Eyes on 3. Everything on 3 and 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast. It's your boy.
All I do is win.
Chazz, the returning champ. The champ is here, guys. The champ is here. I didn't well, you weren't here. Sorry. You weren't here for that one. All I gotta say is a dog. And with me, as always, my best friend in the world. I'm joined by
Pickles, all my pickles.
over here. Over to my right, we've got the no nickname, no nonsense.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Adam Van Houten. Adam,
What's going on,
man?
guys? Here we are again.
And making his return, we've got to my left, the man, the myth, the legend, the human grumpy cat. We got Jay Coleman, y'all. Jay, what's going on, buddy?
What's up?
And how? And you got
Pickles seemed to miss me. So
Yes,
at
she
least-
did.
Definitely
So-
missed you.
Well, it's funny because you only missed 1 week, but we haven't recorded in a very long time.
Yeah,
She was nowhere to
I
be
wonder
found
why.
when you weren't here.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot. So like,
Literally.
you missed the last one we did, and I think we missed a couple weeks before that. So we've only probably had about one podcast in a month, or 2 months.
Yeah. Someone quit.
Someone was burnt out, but I was still trying to make content. And anyway, check out Chazz's rock record review on YouTube, but that's for another. That's for another time, another place. So
Nice plug.
we got to
We'll
get
plug
in.
it at the end.
Yeah, we got to get into what we got to get into, guys.
How about them Bills, baby? Let's go. Hey, let's
It's going to be an interesting offseason, that's for sure.
So Jay, did anything major happen with the Bills recently?
No.
No, nothing.
Nothing. Not a single thing.
Nothing. Not somebody just decided to pull a Chazz and just take a year off and not enjoy the fruits of coaching.
Yeah, who was that?
You mean that one coach?
The one guy? Well, I don't want to go too far. Okay.
It fits.
Yeah, Leslie Frazier decided to take a year off. That was another thing I want to get into because everybody's like, oh my God, the Bills' defense is going to be nothing without him. Or I hear the opposite of it is, oh, thank God he decided to take a year off. You know, it's the same people that are like, we should fire him. And then he's like, I'm going to take a year off. And they're like, wait, what? No way. Why?
Well, the thing is
The only
like
thing I have to say about it is I hope he's okay, and I hope
Yes.
his family's okay, and I hope it's not a health-related thing.
right.
And maybe it is. I hope it's just a Chazz thing, and he's like, I'm just burnt out and I need a year off.
Maybe it is, but
And that's fine.
The
That's totally
shitty
fine.
thing is he waits until all the good coaching candidates are signed.
True.
Although we don't show ever
But
the
I don't
gumption.
think we would sign anybody
No.
outside of the organization anyway.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't
because
think so.
It's Sean's guy, so he's just gonna.
Right. And not only that, Sean McDermott's a defensive coach, so he'll just call the plays.
So talking to head coach of the West Seneca East, I think, football team, Jim Marino, great coach. They won the national or they lost the high school championship last year. Was it East? Did you have him?
I was at West.
You were West, so he must be East then.
Must be. 'Cause I don't remember.
Okay, so Jim, I was talking to him. Obviously, he knows everything about football. His theory behind this, and I would like to get Jim on here someday. His theory behind this is that Leslie Frazier is a much better defense coordinator than we think, and that he keeps getting overridden by Sean McDermott, who's a lot more conservative. And I don't think we ever took that into consideration, because what we freak out about is Leslie Frazier's conservative nature in the playoffs, like the 4th and 4 when they give him 13 yards cushion and things like that.
13 more like 20-yard cushion.
Sure. So Jim thinks that has something to do with Sean McDermott. So now we'll see.
On my point, all these people are like, oh my God, thank God we got rid of him, or thank God he stepped down, this and that, blah, blah. Like I said, first of all, make sure everything's okay with him and his family and his mental health, and it takes a lot. I mean, to be a coordinator and a coach in the league, it's time consuming. It's like, just because there's an off season doesn't mean he's not working constantly.
Sure.
Right? So that's the first thing I want to get to. The second thing I want to get to is shut the fuck up, Bills fans. You're going to be the same fucking people that when our defense is probably not as good, you'll be like, man, we missed Leslie Frazier this year. Well, what are we going to do now? It's like, well, people don't realize, like, we had a top 5 defense in the league for the last 5 years. Guess how many years he's been here? 5 years. We finished 5th.
Sean
last year.
McDermott too, though.
True.
So that's why it's
So this is what's going to come down to is, and that's kind of my point, is these people are going to be like, oh, wow, we really did need Leslie Frazier. He's a really great coach.
There's also a difference between top 5 defense in the regular season and a dog shit defense during the playoffs.
You're right, and we
Yes.
did not play very well
So-
in the playoffs, and I totally understand that.
for
I
the last-
totally understand that.
Few years.
yes.
You're right. Yes,
So-
you're absolutely right about that, and I'm not discrediting that fact at all. But my point is we had a great defense, and these people are just like, oh, get rid of them, get rid of them. Like, I get it. It's the playoffs. You want to win the playoffs. You're looking for a championship. But at the same time, it's like,
I just want to.
I would
people are fucking
rather have a
human too,
shitty
man.
defense in the regular season than a great defense in the playoffs.
sure.
I was kind of get rid of Frazier halfway through the season. I mean, you guys could go back and look at all our podcasts or even the Coffee with Chazz segments, and I was about it because of his lack of.
You
Sure.
were even in the group chat after the playoffs wanting to get rid of Leslie Frazier. So,
So you're on that. You're on that.
I was there before it was cool.
But
I'm
that's
just
okay.
saying.
No, but seriously though, it's it's one of those things. It's like, man, we've had a really great defense, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I get it's the playoffs, and that's where we really shine.
But Jim opened my eyes to the
guess,
thing
but-
that maybe McDermott is overriding him on shit.
well,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
guess this year we'll find out.
yeah,
because
this year's going to
we're
be the
either
ultimate
going to be
test.
we're either going to be worse or we're going to be better.
Exactly. I mean,
So
we finished, I
It's-
believe, 5th
it-
last year.
so here's
if
the
I'm
thing,
not
though.
mistaken. But
if we're better without Frazier,
then what?
then yeah,
Right.
Then what?
I agree.
I still
Then
think he
what?
comes
But-
back.
But at that point, okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to
Because
it.
you
but-
know, like Sean's not going to fire anyone. I
No.
just think he's too soft to fire anyone. So
I think he might be just tough to be a head coach, but
maybe
we'll see. I mean,
this is going to be the year
but
to
it's
figure it
gonna
out.
be
That's for
tough
sure.
that if we are better, and I mean, people are going to like make excuses, especially if
Yeah,
we have
of
some
course.
players come back or whatever.
we
And be
can't-
like, well, we had these players. Come
it's
back,
going to be
and
hard
like,
to be
yeah,
better.
but still,
You're going to probably lose Poyer. You're probably going to lose Edmonds. How
okay.
could we be better? You know what I'm saying for losing those two guys, right? Like that's
You're
the
right.
part. It's like I don't know if we could be better. That is the middle of our defense, the secondary, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like if Hyde comes back, right? I think he was clear.
yeah, he'll be
He'll
back.
So then
He
you're
actually
rolling
was
in.
close to coming back in the playoffs.
Then you're rolling in with Hyde and hopefully Hamlin, right?
True.
So like, but I'm sorry, we loved Damar Hamlin, but that's a step down from Poyer. But it's also somebody that's like 10 years younger than Poyer.
Right.
So like,
Well, there's also free agency. There's also going to be drafting. So I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And
Well, we'll
I'm-
get into our free agency preview, but I know Adam
Yeah,
is
I need
about
to
to
get
let
in.
loose.
I need to get in
something,
on this
so
Jordan Poyer
let's
talk
let
here
Adam go
because
let Adam cook.
listen, I'm so tired of hearing, oh, he doesn't want to be here. Oh, he
Unlimited.
no, Russell, get out of here. He's got a new head coach now. He's fine. But this Jordan Poyer slander that everybody's going on about, like, cut it out. Really, seriously, Bills fans, relax, man. He's a 32-year-old safety who deserves a ton of money because he's still a great player. I need to get that out there because
Yes.
I don't want anybody to come back and be like, well, I can't believe you said Jordan Poyer sucks. No, I didn't. Okay? I said he's a great player, but the Bills and where they want to go in the future is not a 32-year-old safety.
Sure.
Okay? And even Micah Hyde's up there in age, too.
They're right about the
They're
same age.
pretty, pretty close to the same age. So we have him for one more year. Great. It's going to be the same song and dance next year. Oh, we should pay Micah Hyde. No, we shouldn't. Okay? That's what the draft is for, right? And free agency. But my thing about this whole thing that he said about the taxes, nobody fucking likes the taxes here.
No.
He doesn't have a contract. Oh, and I see people, oh, well, he didn't say that when he was during the season and this and that. Well, no shit. He's under contract during the season. He is just, at the end of the day, the NFL is a business, okay? All these sports leagues are a business. They're going to do what's best for them and their families, and they're going to, and if it's not with the Bills, it's not with the Bills. Get the fuck over it. Is he a great player? Is it going to suck that we lose him? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like,
Every team goes through this.
every single team goes through it. I get that we're passionate about our team. I get, every fan base is passionate about their team. And you don't want to see good players not here, right? But at the same time, like, get over it. So what he said about taxes and going somewhere where they don't take half his paycheck. Guess what? They take fucking half my paycheck too. You don't think I want to get the fuck out of here? Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a vote right here. I mean, I know I pay out the ass in taxes.
Sure.
Who here would rather move somewhere and make more money?
Right.
And for those of you who didn't see it on the video, we all rose our hands.
Even Pickles.
Including Pickles. And she was like, yeah, you know what? I'm out of here already. She's gone already. She's on her way out. She just packed a bag.
There's not a single person in New York State that works that would be like, yeah, I want to make less money.
Yeah. Give me a break,
we all
man.
get killed on taxes.
Like,
so
if it benefits him and his family, who cares? It just, I understand, like I said, I understand our passion. I get it. We're all passionate Bills fans. But holy fuck, give it a break. Don't stop attacking the guy on social media. Stop with this, he said that means he doesn't want to be here. No, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to be here. It means he wants to make fucking more money.
Yeah.
Just like anybody else here in the state, because we all know this fucking state sucks.
Yeah.
Especially with taxes. So let him fucking go.
There's also a small issue like that, everyone wants the Bills to be good, and, we are good. But the team's $16 million over the cap.
Right.
So you can't bring everyone back.
Right. And I understand that you got to move some money around and rework contracts, and you can. And you can trade guys, and it might not be guys you want to get traded. But guess what? Ed Oliver, a trade right there, that's a lot of money in the cap that we save.
I think the cap goes up $16 million. So pretty much
it came out today that the Bills cap for 2023 is going to be $227.
So I think once it hits, it goes up $16 million. So basically we're at no money.
Right.
Basically, we're at no money right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. So then you got to resign these guys or do whatever.
Right, exactly.
And you need to make a decision.
Guess what? That star quarterback that we all love, his contract kicks in this year.
Yeah.
Guess what? How much that's worth?
Right.
A lot.
$43 million.
Well, I think they're going to try to reallocate some money. They might move around something from Von Miller.
Absolutely.
That could be done something from Milano. That could be done something from Trey White, right?
Anything can be done.
That could
right?
that could free up.
They can turn into signing bonuses.
Yeah.
Stuff
the salary cap
but still,
is a non-factor because they will figure it out. Like
to a point.
Like all teams do.
To a point.
Yes, exactly.
But like I said, when your team's already $16 million over before everything is said and done,
right,
you can't bring everyone back.
Well, the problem
you gotta
is
make decisions,
which
every great team has to do.
Yes.
Well, is losing both those guys, losing Poyer and Edmonds, would take a fucking shot.
Sure, our defense would take a hit.
Came down to it, it's like obviously, I think you need to put all you can in to sign the guy that's 24.
Agreed.
Right over the guy that's 33. But Edmonds is going to be a top 5 defensive paid player in the league. I just don't think we can keep him. And if that's the case, then you don't waste your money on Poyer anyway. You let them both go.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, we didn't get Edmonds, so we'll just get Poyer. No, because you have so many other holes to fill. Exactly. Right. I think their number one goal in free agency should be to keep Edmonds, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it.
I agree.
So
I would love to keep Edmonds over Poyer. He's a more important piece to the defense, especially clogging up the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. And we all know Edmonds is a beast. He's all over the place, mm-hmm. right? He's fast. He's just great overall.
I sent this stat to you guys, and it shocked you guys, where Matt Milano was drafted 1 year ahead of Tremaine Edmonds and is almost 5 years older.
Right.
That's how young Tremaine is. That's not a dig on Milano. It's just how we drafted Tremaine Edmonds. He was 19 years old.
Yeah.
He is so young, we don't even understand. He's going to start this season at 25.
Right.
That's nuts.
Right.
Matt Milano.
And Jordan Poyer is turning 32.
And Matt Milano's going to be 29.
Is he turning 32 or is he turning 33?
I think he might be turning 30.
I think he's turning 32.
But either way, then it's like I said, it's nothing about Milano, just that they were drafted a year apart, but they're 5 years difference in age. That's how young Tremaine is. So Tremaine is the same age as people coming almost out of college right now.
He's 31 now. He'll be 32 by the time the season starts.
Personally, I would rather keep Edmonds over Poyer.
Agreed.
But I also think that Poyer is more important to the defense than Edmonds. At the same time.
Listen, they're both important to the defense, but if we have a choice, I would rather keep Edmonds.
Yeah. Because of his age
the
and
situation
everything.
at hand right now, I don't think we can keep either of them. Yeah. And that's okay, Bills fans. It's okay. The problem is y'all get too attached to these fucking players, and it's a business. It is a business at the end of the day.
And you need to realize, too, that Ed Oliver's coming up on a contract. Exactly. That's more important than Poyer. Greg Rousseau is going to be up on a contract the following year. That's your number one pass rusher soon. I mean, because Von Miller is going to be like 37 by then.
Right.
You need to lock him up.
He's already going to be up too.
And don't get me wrong, these are all great players. We know it. We've seen it for years. And we know what Von Miller can do. And he was only here for half a year because he got hurt in the Thanksgiving game against the Lions. But he was fantastic. And it really did hurt us losing him. But at the same time, we also still have him locked up for the next 5 years.
5 years, yeah. But that's why he needs to redo his deal, and he will.
Yes, and he will, because he's that type of player. He wants to win. He's competitive. But the difference between the thing that I think people really look at Von Miller and they go, well, he just likes to have fun out there. Yeah, exactly. He likes to have fun out there. He's not this hard-nosed guy. He's you might want to consider him soft, but it's just his demeanor is that it's soft. He's this lovable guy, and he says the right things, but on the field, he's one of the best defensive linemen in the league. Still at his age,
pass rusher.
I'm sorry,
because he's not
edge rusher.
Yeah, he's not
outside linebacker, whatever you want to call it.
And he is.
But
he is.
I mean, give me a break with this Jordan Poyer stuff, and like now everybody's hating on Diggs because he unfollowed the Bills on Instagram and followed the Cowboys and this. Shut up. He's not. Fuck off.
Like we
Seriously.
said too, a team that's already up against the cap's not going to trade a player to take a $40 million hit.
Good fucking teams figure it out, and I believe that the Bills are a good team and they will figure it out. So have some patience, let the offseason play out, and just shut the fuck up. Stop attacking these guys on social media. They don't want your fucking DMs. They don't want anything to do with you. They have no idea who you are. Relax.
And to remind you guys, Kansas City, I believe, did good this year, right?
Guess what? They got rid of their best fucking wide receiver and won the championship.
Right. So, like, you can do it if you're a good team.
Yes.
I'm hesitant to think we're a great team, right? So it's like
we're a good team.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
So, but I don't think we could overcome losing Diggs.
But
agreed.
Right? But
I don't want to lose Diggs either, but Kansas City figured it out.
So we'll have to see at that point.
We'll have to see if the Bills can figure it out.
I don't think we're going to lose Diggs, but
I don't
really think
either.
There's that much to read into it anyway.
No.
So, I mean,
he was going off on Josh. Yeah, did you see the way Josh Allen fucking played? Because it was dog shit. He played like fucking shit against the Bengals. And yeah, guess what? A guy who wants to win went off on him.
Yeah.
Anybody in here who plays competitive sports, it happens. Stop looking into it so much and get over it.
Right.
Just let it play out.
And it's attention for Diggs,
And
he
you know
likes
what?
that.
And you know what? And if Diggs did want to go play with his brother, who cares? Well, figure it out.
How about trade for his brother then instead?
Right.
How about that?
Or that.
That would be nice. Bring him in.
He's a great corner.
He's an okay corner. He gets burnt.
yeah, I would say okay.
He does,
gets burnt a lot.
I mean,
He's got good ball skills.
he's good enough.
He gets burnt a lot. He actually traded for him and turned him to a safety. I think he'd be a better safety because he has great ball skills, but he usually gets burnt one-on-one, kind of like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But he gets burnt more than Ramsey. As much as we like to dog on Ramsey, he gets burnt way more than Ramsey.
Yeah,
Agree.
So, he just gets
I
a lot
agree.
of interceptions.
Yeah. Well, that's ball skills. We'll put him in safety,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know why we're talking about
That's all I wanted to say
Diggs
about
Bros.
the off
you okay?
season. I'm good now.
Are you all right?
I just
Are you
need
sure?
to get that out there. Yeah.
Do you need a hug?
You've been holding that in for a while?
I have been.
Yeah, because he didn't want to do a podcast for a month.
Yeah.
I had to hold it in.
So, guys,
It's ridiculous.
what is the number one goal for you, Jay, for the Bills in the offseason? Your number one goal, whether it's draft, free agency, re-signing, firing Ken Dorsey, whatever it is. What is your...
Well, let me put this out there, too. Ken Dorsey's not going anywhere.
No, I know.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe after this
Which
year.
is what I said, even though you guys wanted him fired, but, you know.
I want to both fired. But what's your number one goal? Like, what do you want to see the Bills? Whether it's the re-signing, drafting, trading, free agency. Your number one thing you want to see.
I want to see us actually hit on more of our draft picks this year. Because we, as much as like everyone wants to say like Bean and Sean are doing good, his draft picks outside of like a couple we haven't hit on every,
True.
a lot of them. So I think we need to get better at drafting, especially if you want to build your team where you can lose a Poyer or lose an Edmonds.
You're right.
That's fair.
I can see that.
So-
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Adam, same question.
Offensive line. I would like to see us hammer the offensive line this year. We've been drafting defense for the last 4 or 5 drafts now.
Yeah.
And our defense has been great, but now it's time to focus on the offense. We need to give Josh Allen a little bit of time back there, so he has to stop feeling like he has to be Superman. And I think that's the biggest problem with the offense. Yeah. So offensive line, and I'm going to go ahead and say wide receiver as well.
Yeah,
we definitely need some help there. Oh, that's another point I want to get to.
Are you saying Gabe Davis is in a number 2?
Listen, this is another thing I want to say about fucking Bills fans. Stop with the narrative about, oh, they played here before, we should bring them back. Because that worked out so well with John Brown and Cole Beasley and Dean Marlowe.
Why
right?
are they trying to bring back?
I just keep hearing all this Robert Woods talk. Like, give me a break.
I'd fucking take him right now over Isaiah McKenzie and Gabe Davis.
Sure. But what I'm saying is we don't need guys that played here before to play again. Move on. Let's get some guys in here that, and a lot of people still forget that we have Jamison Crowder.
No, because we didn't.
We didn't have him.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
He's still under contract for the next 2 years as a Buffalo Bill. So I hope he can stay healthy this year, and we can certainly use him in the slot.
So
but wide receiver, offensive line, in whatever order, it doesn't matter. That's what I want to see in the offseason.
My number one aspect was to figure out to keep Tremaine Edmonds. I really don't see that possible. So other than that, I just want them to make an offensive splash.
Yes.
Whether it's a big trade for Derrick Henry, or he gets cut, you sign him, or Saquon Barkley, or Robert Woods, or you draft a high receiver, or you do something like that. Make a splash on this offense.
I at this point, all the money that we've invested in the defense, I think
it's time for the
criminal.
For the offense.
If they invest big money or a high draft pick in another fucking defensive player,
guys,
it's criminal.
If we lose Jordan Poyer and Tremaine Edmonds, you guys are out of your fucking mind if you don't think they're drafting a safety out of Alabama or something.
Sure, but not in the first round.
Absolutely in the first round.
No way.
You are out of your mind. How many offensive players has this regime picked in the first round?
That's my point.
Like none.
One, Josh Allen. How many of these players, and this regime has picked an offensive player in the second round?
No, I know.
One, James Cook.
I know.
That's it.
I get it.
That's it.
But we all saw how our offensive line played. Not good. Okay.
I'm just saying I would put money that if we lose both these guys or even one of them, that our first pick's a fucking safety or linebacker.
If you go with our track record, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is criminal.
Going based on previous drafts, yes, you're absolutely right. It will probably be defense if we lose one or both of those guys. But
I would even say if we sign them both, there's a chance that they'll fucking still do it.
It's been outrageous.
Yeah. But it's also, again, I go back to the point that Jordan Poyer's 32. If we keep him, we're going to need somebody to replace him eventually because he's not going to play forever.
Jordan Poyer was also like a third, fourth round pick.
Right, but he also had a lot of injuries to deal with.
I mean, we did kind of resurrect Poyer's career.
And Hyde. Well, Hyde was good.
You're absolutely right.
I can't say that.
Hyde is good. And he was good in Green Bay, too.
Yeah, Hyde was good in Green Bay.
Hyde was fantastic in Green Bay.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay, so like
Poyer wasn't bad in Cleveland. He was just in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's really all you can say about that. But, yeah, like I said, they are great players. They really are. And it would suck to lose them, but with the situation in the cap space, we might have to. And that's my point, is that it's a business and we have to get over it.
Now, what do you guys think of the most mock draft scenario I see for the Bills is them taking Bijan Robinson?
I don't want to take a running back. But Bijan Robinson is fucking good.
It's something special.
So, I mean, I would accept it.
Bijan Robinson.
Of course I would. Just like anybody else would accept it.
Bijan Robinson is like the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley, and he came out pretty goddamn good out of college.
He did.
So, like, I'm in the same boat. You got to remember, though, we can consider it a first-round pick, but if it's like 4 picks later, it's in the second round.
Right.
So it's kind of, it's like a toss-up. So it's like, I don't know if I would love it because we have James Cook, but there's no comparison about the prospect. James Cook is great, but Bijan Robinson is, like, incredible. And it's kind of like what the Jets did. The Jets 2 years ago drafted Michael Carter in the third round, and then in the second round took Breece Hall. Right? And Breece Hall was electric, right? So it's like kind of the same concept. Is that what they do? Would you rather have one of the best running back prospects in years in the first round and then a second round offensive lineman, or miss out on that and get a random offensive line? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's a toss-up. I don't know how I feel about that. How about you, Jay?
I don't know. it's tough to say because, like, I don't know. I just don't want to. I think offensive line and wide receiver are more important than running back for us.
Yeah. Especially
But
after
I guess
drafting James
if they
Cook
actually
last year.
invest in the offense for once, then I'd be okay with it.
It's just that Bijan
Because
Robinson's so
like-
special.
Yeah,
It would be one thing if, like, here's, like I said, I don't want this whole defensive thing again, but I agree. If they invest in the offense, then, okay, if you're going to take him in the first round, then go with an offensive lineman or a wide receiver in the second round, or keep building that offense, or sign somebody, or do something on offense. Because, yes, Josh Allen is great. We know it. But he feels like he's Superman out there,
Yeah.
and he really doesn't have a lot of time.
Look at
And
the
that's,
great teams and
people
how
are like,
they're.
if he keeps running, he's going to get hurt. It's going to be another Cam Newton situation. Okay, you're absolutely right, but let's build around him and get an offensive line that can fucking protect him. He doesn't have to feel that way. So
Look at the great
But-
teams right now. They're investing in the offense and defense.
I
Not
also
just-
think that if we get a decent running back, someone who's highly doubted, like Bijan Robinson, or trade for Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley or whoever, that'll open up the passing game because teams will focus on your star running back as opposed to relying on, covering receivers, with 2 and 3 guys. And
It's the cops.
they're here for Jay.
Okay, we're good.
Nope, they're gone.
No, you're right. It's interesting because I would never want to say we need a running back because I believe in James Cook, but Bijan Robinson is just different, It's the only
just
thing.
upset.
we're also assuming that we're 100% not gonna
Resign Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
I agree. But
I
we're
think
also-
so. I think
we're
he's
also,
gone.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
do I. But
Burn your jersey,
this team
Jay.
does crazy stuff.
I'm also upset about the fact that it took us 12 games to figure out James Cook and get him the ball more.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like it took 12 games to figure out with our like fucking chicken shit ass conservative coaches,
Right.
where it's like, no, he's a rookie and he fumbled,
Once.
so we can't do that.
He fumbled his first touch
So-
and didn't fumble after that.
So how you were saying earlier about maybe Sean is overriding Frazier? How do we know Sean's not overriding?
Could be, yeah. Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey.
Yeah.
He could be.
Maybe.
But I never got that sense of it with Dayball.
True.
But this was
Yeah.
also Dorsey's first year.
Sure. No, you're right.
I mean, he doesn't have the track record that Dayball did.
But then if
so-
that's the case, then why is this guy our head coach?
Oh.
Right? I'm not on this fire Sean wagon yet, but I'm closer than I ever was. I can say that with
Yeah.
certainty.
I mean, since McDermott's been our head coach, we've made the playoffs 4 out of 5 years.
Yes.
Right? So that says something. Right? Especially after being out of the playoffs for the last 17. Right?
Yeah.
Before that. So am I on the fire McDermott? No.
No,
not
I'm not
yet.
there.
But could this year get me to that point? Maybe.
Let's ask you this because someone in their rage made this comparison. So sitting at this thing, in your mind, who's a better coach, Sean McDermott or McDaniels? Raiders. Who's a better head coach?
Even him just
Well,
saying that's
right-
tough says a lot.
Right now, I think it's McDermott because
That's
he's
fair. That's fair.
he's
Okay.
done more
That's
than
fair.
McDaniels has
For
as
sure.
a head coach.
But for you even to say that's tough,
It is because look at what
that says a lot.
McDaniels had and look at what McDermott had. I guess similar built offenses, maybe. Besides, okay, they have Devontae Adams, they had Josh Jacobs, who was fantastic this year.
But track record as a head coach.
But track
they're
record
not
as a
even
head coach,
in the
McDermott
same-
is better.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the last 5 years, absolutely.
But also,
But is McDaniels a great offensive coordinator? Sure, he had Brady for 20 years.
we also need to be afraid and worried, guys, that they fucking got lucky and McDermott got lucky that they fucking drafted Josh Allen. Because if that draft pick, if they took what everybody said they should took and took Josh Rosen there, do you think that guy still has a job right now?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's commotion outside, folks. That's it.
I'm like half in your driveway and half not, so I'm like,
No, you'll be fine. They're not worried about it. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's like if we drafted Josh Rosen and not Josh Allen, our team would suck. McDermott wouldn't be here right now. So there's a good chance that
Maybe.
McDermott...
You never know.
Yeah, you're right. But there's a good chance that Bean and McDermott are just living off of the home run of Josh Allen and then the singles of everybody else right now. You know what I mean? So, like, we don't know. And again, I'm not fire a Sean McDermott guy yet, but I'm getting closer. That's all. I'm getting closer. So it is what it is.
A lot of teams don't have a coach that comes in and makes a playoff 4 out of 5 years. I mean,
But a lot of teams also don't have Josh Allen.
true.
And he did that once without him.
True.
So,
But that's where I give McDermott a little bit of credit because Tyrod Taylor was our quarterback when we made the playoffs.
right. So he took
For the
Rex
first time.
Ryan's team to the playoffs, basically.
Right. And we all know how that turned out.
Then rebuilt it, and rebuilt a good team, and went nowhere.
I agree.
So, I don't know. You know, that's just where I am with them. But I'm not saying fire.
Well, the same criticisms of kind of Bean. Like, Bean has to hit
Sure.
on draft picks.
Yeah.
But I think he's
I mean, he's getting all kinds of credit.
He's got his guys. I mean, he's doing well with later picks. Like, even though we don't like where Gabe Davis is and what he's doing, he's outperforming 4th, 5th round draft pick. Somebody like Tyler Bass was a great draft pick. You know, somebody like Benford seems to be a pretty good 6th round draft pick. Hamlin, you know what I mean? So, like, he does a good job with drafting guys in the 5th and 6th round that play like 2nd and 3rd round.
Yeah.
Sure.
He does
We
agree
need
with
to
that.
hit on those first, second,
Yeah.
third rounders.
That was, I think, Jay's point. Is, let's hit on the early rounds as opposed to the late rounds. Let's
So
get
they
somebody
started
in
off
here.
with a bang. Their first 2 picks, their first 3 picks in our system were Trey White, Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds.
Those are pretty good guys.
Or, well, not their first 3 picks, but their first 2 years of first round picks.
Right.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good start there. And then it just like, you know, and if you think about it, we could have drafted Patrick Mahomes. We traded that away to take Trey White and next year Josh Allen. And I still would rather have Trey White and Josh Allen than just Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
So I think that worked out. And I love the Tremaine Edmonds pick. And then it's like, but then the problem is they're better. They're picking later. You know what I'm saying? So like the worst draft pick we had, or like the latest draft pick we had was when we made the AFC Championship game. We picked 30th overall. We took Rousseau, who I think is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't give Bean as much flack as I give McDermott. I've said this before. I think McDermott pushes this culture of smiley, happy, pretty boys.
Yeah.
And everybody's a nice person. They're so good. And look how they smile nice and nasty.
Right, and I think that's the thing with the Diggs thing is, yeah, he's passionate and he's a competitor and he got in Josh's face for playing like shit and Josh knows it, but guess what? They're still friends. Guess what? Josh Allen still wants to throw him the ball. So, but that I agree with that narrative of we got these soft, you know, these pretty boys and these guys that are don't touch me, you know, kind of thing, but. So when somebody shows that side of them, they're like, what is this? This isn't the culture that Sean McDermott has, you know, instilled in these guys. Why is Diggs freaking out on the sideline? Well, his quarterback played like shit.
His team played
played like shit overall. So, yeah, I don't blame Diggs at all.
And Josh should be freaking out because he's running out there with Diggs and nobody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
you know, and we've
Diggs and 47-year-old
and
John Brown.
We've said this before. Guess what wins? Wide receivers.
Yeah.
And
seems
good
like
quarterbacks.
So
Joe Burrow, and he's got 3 great receivers. Jalen Hurts, he's got probably the best receiving core in the league, maybe. You know, all these other guys.
Yeah,
like,
Mahomes.
You know, Mahomes had
Kelsey.
And
he has got Kelsey, and he had Hill before,
Yep.
but now he won a championship with Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Travis Kelce,
And he used McKinnon.
and he used Jerick McKinnon in the passing game, and Isaiah Pacheco down the stretch played very well.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, man, why can't we be like that? Oh, we can. We just need to find the pieces. All right, so let's get some good wide receivers in
teams
here.
have
And I don't think
a decent offensive line.
exactly. And I don't think Gabe Davis is horrible. He's not
No,
horrible.
he's not
right?
horrible.
He
He's
had a
just
down year,
frustrating.
yeah, but he's very frustrating because he dropped some easy passes, and so did McKenzie. So, we're not getting the wide receiver production like these other teams are. So that's where everybody gets kind of, mad at the offense and the Bills and Diggs and this and that, and it's like, well, look at what we have. Okay,
Yeah.
We don't have a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins. We don't have a A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith.
When teams are shutting down
When we
Diggs,
have that,
and
we're
you
gonna
can
be
only
good.
throw to Gabe Davis and McKenzie,
Right, and they're not
the fucking
and
ball.
they're dropping everything, and not making the plays that they should be.
And we're not
making.
using Cook in the passing game.
Well, also all the guys you just mentioned, minus Hill. Hill was a big steal, but Devontae Smith was a 5th overall draft pick. Jamar Chase was a 5th overall draft pick, right around there. Jalen Waddle was 7th or 8th overall draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to rely on 5th round pick Gabriel Davis
right,
and 7th round pick Isaiah McKenzie.
right.
Come on, man, put some faith in your team.
Yep, totally
do
agree.
something about it. And that's the problem is they're not going to. But we spent a lot of time on this, Bills. Did any of you guys happen to watch the NFL Scouting Combine?
I did not.
No.
Unfortunately, I didn't
Okay, that's
have
fair.
the time to sit down and
That's
and
fun. You guys
scout.
better do your research though for the football draft because you need to know these players.
We will,
Here's my big takeaway.
but we
from-
don't do research here, so we'll figure it out.
exactly.
I actually enjoy the Scouting Combine. That's where I fell in love with Josh Allen.
You're our college guy.
Well, thank you. That's where I fell in
You
love.
make me do all the research.
I fell in love with Josh Allen on the Scouting Combine, and that's where I put him number 2 on my list behind Baker. Honestly, because of that, Josh Allen was nobody going into that, and that's where I fell.
Small town kid from somewhere in California that nobody's ever heard of, and he goes to Wyoming, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's now accurate," and well, he threw fucking 50 times a game and had nobody.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be accurate either.
kind of like now.
Kind of like now.
Yeah, kind of.
He's
So,
literally reliving his college days.
So here's my takeaway. The 2 big takeaways. I'm not gonna sit here and break down everybody. Bijan Robinson's the man, but he didn't even do that much. But that's really me just going in from his college as well. But I don't know if you guys saw anything, but Anthony fucking Richardson, the quarterback from Florida,
I heard he's moving up the ranks.
he broke almost every single quarterback athleticism scale. He's 6'5", 246 pounds. So Josh Allen size, Cam Newton size.
Okay.
He ran a 4.26 40,
I heard that.
which is faster than cornerbacks. Maybe it was 4.3, but whatever it was faster than the only one that was just as fast as him was Robert Griffin III, who was pretty goddamn electric and fast.
Yeah.
Except Robert Griffin III was 5'10".
Right.
Yeah.
So this guy's 6'5". So this guy has got the size of Josh Allen and the speed of Justin Fields. So
Sounds pretty good to me.
and he had the highest vertical jump of all time, which doesn't mean much for football, but it just shows athleticism.
Sure.
So he's kind of that mold of the next generation of quarterback. Josh Allen started it. Patrick Mahomes started it. And then you got Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields. Now you got this guy. What's the big knock on this guy? And it's the same knock with Josh Allen, the same knock with Justin Fields, same knock with Trey Lance. Well, he's not very accurate. Well, Josh learned it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Jalen learned it.
Sure.
The debate is still out for Trey Lance and for Justin Fields. So to me, this guy is your number 1 overall pick because who are you going to take? Bryce Young? Bryce Young, great, won a lot in college.
Sure.
He literally measured the same exact size as Kyler Murray.
I'm out.
He's 5'10", 204 pounds. Nope, first one. Nope, first one. To the end.
Hey there, little fella.
So he's 5'10", 204 pounds. Let me reiterate that Anthony Richardson is 6'5", 4, whatever, 246 pounds, and ran a faster 40 than this guy.
Yeah.
And he showed a rocket arm. Not great accuracy though. But that's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's Trey Lance. These guys need to be honed, and they show they can be honed. So to me, he took over as the number 1 overall pick. The problem is the Bears own the number 1 overall pick with Justin Fields.
Right.
So this guy's actually almost a better raw prospect than Justin Fields, but I don't think they do that. I think they trade down, get a whole ton of picks. I mean, I know you say you would, and that it makes sense. But Justin Fields is just as raw, just as big, right? So it's do you?
Well, to be fair, too, it's the Bears. I mean,
Yeah. So if you're sitting there, do you trade out? Because, there's a scenario where the Bears can trade back to, say, 4, and Indy jumps up and takes a quarterback, and the Bears trade out of 4 to, 9, and somebody else jumps up. Right? And then all of a sudden, the Bears just acquired 3 first-round picks.
Right.
Right? So there's
Possibly, yeah.
there's that chance with the Bears.
I mean, you could also trade Fields.
But, do you? I don't think you do.
I don't think
get
you
a
do. Decent amount.
I don't think you do.
I don't think
after
you
this
want to do
season.
that unless you want to keep Richardson, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they have a new head coach
That's
now.
what I mean.
Who's
If you're gonna
I
draft,
can't remember, but
I don't think they fired. I don't think they fired him.
No, who was it last year? Oh, Eberflus. Okay,
Yeah,
you're
that was
right.
last
I'm sorry,
year.
that was last year. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so you're looking at Bryce Young. Everyone's like the can't miss, and Alabama quarterback. Okay, great. Anthony Richardson is burning up, coming out of nowhere, and C.J. Stroud is still there. Will Levis, whatever his name is still there. Those are your guys.
I'm out on under 6 foot quarterbacks. So
I mean, that's fair to say.
That's true.
And it's and I think C.J. Stroud's pretty close. So it's I think Anthony Richardson's now the guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if C.J. Stroud's number 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if Will Levis goes 3. But, they're all, and Bryce Young's, I bet you they all go in the top 10. They're all going to go in the top 10. Considering no quarterbacks went to the 3rd round last year because that was just a shitty class.
True.
As shitty as that class
this is a better
this one's
QB class.
You
than last
got a
year,
Heisman
for sure.
Trophy winner coming in. You got a Heisman Trophy runner-up coming in.
Yep.
You got Richardson, tearing up the charts. And then Will Levis has, the best arm out of everybody. So everybody has their own kind of flair. And they're all coming from big schools. Florida. I forgot where Levi's is from, but Florida, Ohio State.
He's not is he the TCU coach?
No, that's Max Duke.
Oh, that's Duger.
He is
my bad.
Dugan. He is he had a horrible. I'm glad you brought him up. He looked like Tim Tebow in his pro day. He looked horrible, man. So bad. And don't forget, there's also Stetson Bennett, 2-time national champion. Runner up to the Heisman. But I don't think Stetson Bennett from Georgia is going to be like that. I think Stetson Bennett's going to be the Bills could draft him in the 4th round as a backup.
Levi is out of Kentucky.
Kentucky, okay. Not as big of a school, okay. But Stetson Bennett, I think he's going to be a 2nd-day pick, maybe 3rd-day pick, and maybe he's somebody's good backup,
yeah,
kind of thing for Stetson Bennett. I mean, guy's a proven winner, won 2 national championships, but he's also actually older than Tremaine Edmonds.
yeah.
If you think about that.
Right.
So that's my big takeaway. I don't have a lot. I didn't get to watch the receiver one, but my early receiver favorite for the Bills to nab is the kid from Ohio State, Jigba. Smith Jigba or whatever.
Yeah.
Ohio State. Because he seems to be going there. If you get a receiver from Ohio State or USC or LSU or Alabama, you're probably going to be all right.
I agree.
If you get any of those.
Well, the sought-after one is Marvin Harrison, but he's not coming out till next year.
That's next year, and that's from Ohio State.
Yeah, he's Ohio State.
But I think Jigba is the one that I can see the Bills getting. Jigba reminds me a lot of Chris Olave. Yes, they were teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But so that's my.
Just somebody to, jolt this offense. Really, that's really what.
But that's okay. We'll take that safety from Alabama, probably.
Maybe
That's what's going to happen. So, that's my takeaway. So now I want to bring up a few names for you guys for free agency preview. Okay, what do you think, Jay, is going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? I know he's not a free agent, but there's obviously a lot of.
I think he's either going to retire or be a Packer.
Okay, that's very fair. You don't hear that a lot out of it. What do you think?
Well, since the Saints got Derek Carr, so they're out on him. I think the Jets are still in on Aaron Rodgers. That would be my guess. I think he would go to the Jets, and I think it's because the Jets need to make a splash at quarterback because that Zach Wilson's not going to be your quarterback this year.
Okay.
Whether it's Rodgers or not, I don't know. Maybe they do draft somebody, one of these guys that you said. But I just don't think it's going to be Zach Wilson, and I don't think it's going to be Mike White.
No, it's definitely not either of those guys.
It's not either of those guys. So, they met with Derek Carr, who signed with the Saints.
And they pretty much said they were waiting on Aaron Rodgers, so they didn't want to sign Carr.
They didn't want to sign Carr because they were waiting on Aaron Rodgers, so I think it was more for Derek Carr, I'll entertain the idea, but ultimately didn't want to go there anyway.
I'm pretty sure.
Good for the Saints because they got better at quarterback, I think.
A lot better. A lot more stability.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, though. That's where I'm at with that.
That'd be terrible for him.
But it also depends on, can they trade him?
Yeah.
The Packers. I mean,
With that big-ass contract.
that big-ass contract that he's got.
Does
that
he have
kicks in.
no trade clause or anything either? So
I don't think so.
Well, that's why I side with Jay on this one. That was a burp. That I think he's just going to retire because
Maybe.
I don't think they can trade him. I don't necessarily think they want him. So they're not going to cut him, and he's probably going to be a crybaby and stomp his feet and just retire. You got to give Jordan Love a fucking chance. The guy looked pretty good when he played last year. Not amazing.
Yeah.
But you know who else didn't look amazing? Fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, you got to give Jordan Love a chance.
But their team's also not that great.
But you're going into your 4th year with Jordan Love. Like, Aaron Rodgers started, I think, in his 4th year.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, it's time.
That's what they do.
It might have even been the 3rd. But it's time. And I don't think they can move that contract. So, here's something, like, I was originally thinking that the whole plan was to get Aaron Rodgers in Vegas with Devontae.
Sure.
But I don't think that's going to happen now because of the contract, A. And B, there's big rumor reports that Josh McDaniels pressuring sexy boy Jimmy G.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't like that as a Raiders guy. That is not
But the tie there
the answer.
from New England.
Right. But that is not
Right.
the answer. Is that even...
I agree that's not the answer.
I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, and I think you guys would agree with me, that is not an upgrade over Derek Carr.
Getting Jimmy G?
Yeah.
I agree.
That's not an
I
upgrade.
totally agree.
That's
I don't
a
think-
downgrade.
Is it an upgrade over Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Maybe based
No,
if you're basing it on the last year, okay, we know Aaron Rodgers didn't have a great season. Is he an upgrade over Aaron Rodgers? No, it's still Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers would be the best out of the 3.
Agreed.
I think. But you only got him for a year. Jimmy G ain't young. Jimmy G's already in his 30s.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So it's like, if that's their plan to bring in Jimmy G,
Yeah, give me a break.
yeah, that's not for the Raiders. And I really, as a Raiders guy, don't hope that's not the case because you're going to run out there with Jimmy G and Devontae. What is he going to do with Devontae Adams?
Yeah,
Just
I
throw
agree.
slants?
Who do you want the Raiders to get?
If I had my choice of who I want the Raiders to get out of all the possible available quarterbacks, it would be easily Lamar Jackson. But I don't think that's a possibility either. Because the big rumors having that he's going to end up in Washington.
Yeah, I heard that.
So, but that's who I would want.
So Carson Wentz to the Raiders?
No, we all know he's probably going to go back to the Colts. But, for me, if you trot out there Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, and Devontae Adams, that's a pretty solid lineup. So, but I also don't want the Raiders to do that because they're in the AFC with the Bills, right?
Yeah.
But I also don't want the Jets to get Lamar Jackson.
I don't want the Jets to get Lamar Jackson. I honestly, I really don't want them to get Aaron Rodgers either.
Yeah,
so
of course.
that's fine. But
And there's all this rumors that Miami's going to make a move on somebody too.
yeah, they're tough for me because
Please get Jimmy G, Miami.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right. Literally, yeah.
Just do that.
I mean, Tua is good, but he's got the concussion issue now,
Yes.
and the way that they handled it during the season was just
A joke.
awful.
A joke.
Awful.
An
And
absolute
I feel bad for the kid because he is good. He's not great. He's good. He did what he was supposed to do with Tyreek Hill, and he's got Jalen Waddle there still, and another one of those teams that has a really good receiving duo.
Yep.
But yeah, you got to keep your quarterback on the field, and they failed to do that.
Here's an intriguing name that you don't think is intriguing, but it really is if you break it down, is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he
Coming off the best season of his career.
true, and he's a really underrated runner.
Very underrated runner.
I know everybody goes back to that long run that he had that he tripped himself with.
Yes.
But
There was also an 88-yard run.
It was an 88-yard run for a quarterback of that size. Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones he's viable. He would definitely win some games.
I think he's a good replacement for any of these guys.
True.
But I think he ends up, for some reason...
I think he'll resign in
I
New
don't
York,
think he's
no?
going to, because he wants a big deal. And I think for some reason, given knowing what they want out of that system and needing somebody, I could see him ending up in Atlanta.
Ooh.
They cut Mariota.
They did cut Mariota. I was just going to say.
They cut
But
Mariota.
I think they're on the Desmond Ritter train now.
He didn't really do anything.
no,
so if you could bring
No,
in...
but
Somebody like Daniel
You're
Jones.
right. I agree.
If you think of Daniel Jones, he's got all those intangibles that say, where Arthur Smith made his money was with Ryan Tannehill, right? And Daniel Jones is way better than Ryan Tannehill in running and passing and everything, right? So I think it's his kind of perfect guy.
I never really thought Tannehill was ever that good of a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
anyway, even in Miami.
He was always okay.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah,
he was great.
So Daniel Jones is way much of an improvement.
But he's not the reason why the Titans made the playoffs.
No,
it was
the
Derrick
king.
Henry.
Yeah. That's
So-
the king,
I don't know. I mean, are they really that high on Malik Willis? But
Sure. I mean, somebody could end up there, too. You never
Yeah, I
thought about
guess.
it. We got to remember this thing about the Giants and Daniel Jones. They also have another free agent of Saquon
Barkley. Yeah,
You're not going to sign both.
true.
And Daniel Jones says he wants $45 million. And the Giants, I think, offered him about $38, and he was like, "Nah, bruh."
Yeah.
He said, "Nah, bruh." So
He did.
and then he was like, "Give me $45 million," and the Giants were like,
No.
"So that's."
I don't know.
But why can't? Who the hell are the Falcons paying? Right? Nobody really.
Yeah.
So it's just my concept. And I think Saquon's going back to the Giants. I think that's why they're going to give him a big deal and keep him there.
Yeah, I could see Saquon staying there.
So-
well, Josh Jacobs isn't going anywhere because the Raiders franchised him.
Oh, did they today?
Mm-hmm.
Who else got franchised? Somebody else. Oh, Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard.
But that's only for a year.
Right.
So these guys can come
Yeah.
loose next year.
Right. You're right.
So-
But we're talking this year right
Yeah.
now. So
But that doesn't
You
also
should
mean
be
they can't
franchised
get
for 2
traded.
years.
You could be franchised a second
you
year.
can. Yeah.
But that's like the reason. So somebody like Lamar Jackson, there's a chance he can get franchised. But if Lamar gets
But
franchised,
he also doesn't have to
he's
play
going to
on
get
that.
traded.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's basically, we'll franchise you, we'll trade you to the Raiders, and then you have a contract, and the Raiders can
Yeah.
renegotiate.
Do what they want with it. Yeah.
Because you don't really get a lot of quarterback franchises because what the franchise tag goes, if you guys don't know at home, is they take the top 10 salaries at the position and give you the average.
Yeah.
So the fucking quarterback franchise tag is like $38 million or something like that.
Yeah, for one season.
You know what I mean? So it's not really going
Yeah.
to do that. But that's why like you see a lot of franchise tags on safeties, on tight ends, because a lot their things are low.
Yeah.
Running backs too. Running backs contracts are getting
Yep.
low now too.
Yeah.
I mean, the highest paid running back's only getting $16 million. I know that sounds like nothing, but
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry's the highest paid. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there any other free agents you guys want to talk about?
The one big one I think I seen is Kansas City is going to cut Frank Clark.
Ooh, I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
I do.
kind of young. He's younger than I thought.
Is he? Is he in his 20s?
Yeah.
He just seems he's been so good
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
He's been
Me
so
too.
good
When I
forever.
seen this, I thought it.
He's 29.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So he's been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 30 something, and then they were like, "Oh, 29." I was like, "Ooh, it's intriguing."
Yeah, I heard that as well. Great player. I mean, Frank Clark, he's a beast.
He is that defense. I can't see them.
100%.
I can't see them counting. That'd be crazy. I would love him, but we can't. But that'd be another defender.
Right. Another guy we can't afford.
Yeah. Another guy we can't.
Let's just cut everybody and restart, rebuild. Just Josh, and that's
ya.
it.
Yep.
That's all you fucking need almost sometimes. Josh, and then Daniel Jones as a backup.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Daniel Jones. Honestly, I can't see him leaving New York, but if he does,
I can't see them keeping him for $45 million.
that's a lot.
else are they gonna do,
for
though?
Daniel Jones?
Draft.
But they
They don't have a top 10 pick because they're in the
But that's-
playoff. Yeah.
Exactly,
That's the thing with
so
That's the thing with quarterbacks, though. It's like, I mean, Geno Smith
You
just
have to
got
bank.
35 a year.
You have to bank
Geno
on-
Smith
Yeah.
got $35 million a year.
Well, he was a stud last year, so
You're right.
So is
I
DJ.
kept telling you guys all year.
So is Daniel Jones.
You were like, "Oh, let's not get crazy."
Daniel Jones was a stud though too.
yeah.
Finally.
Geno's a lot older. What do you mean finally?
Yeah. So what?
Daniel Jones. Is it safe to say now Daniel Jones is the best quarterback from his drafting class, which was Kyler Murray, him? I mean, that's tough, right?
I mean, is it really that hard to be better than Kyler Murray?
But Kyler's the top 3 paid quarterback in the league. So if he's better than Kyler, I could
Hey there,
see
little fella.
I could see why he wants to make that
Well,
money.
I mean, Kyler can own him in Call of Duty.
And
Oh,
unfortunately,
Kyler's the best Call of Duty player in the league.
and unfortunately the other
It's unreal.
quarterback from that draft class was Dwayne Haskins. So rest in peace to
R.I.P.
Dwayne Haskins. But like, yeah, I mean, it's just an interesting like. thing with Daniel Jones to see what happens because he's going to get a big deal. I mean, he is the
I think
best.
he is too.
But teams like already know that they like teams. I mean, good teams budget in a high amount for a quarterback.
But if you think about it like this, who is the best free agent quarterback available? Okay, so Derek Carr, we'll just say he's still a free agent. Aaron Rodgers isn't.
Right.
So I think obviously the best free agent quarterback is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And then it's Daniel Jones.
I mean, I'll definitely agree with Lamar
I
Jackson
can't believe
being
you're
the
saying
best.
Daniel
but
Jones over Derek Carr.
I think Daniel Jones is better than Derek Carr. I do, especially for today's NFL with his running.
with the running ability, yeah, I'll agree with that. But as a passer, though, I think Derek Carr edges him a little bit.
As a passer, but as a complete package, I think you'd go Daniel Jones. Plus, he's younger.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Lamar Jackson. So rank them, Jay. Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr, Jimmy G. I mean, that's my order.
I think mine would be Lamar, Carr, Jones, Jimmy G.
Okay, so you're right.
I agree with Jay. I think that would be mine as well.
Wow, Carr over Jones. That's crazy because as much as Carr has been
To be honest with you, you can probably interchange Carr and Jones.
right,
Yeah,
like Carr has
truly.
been so
Truthfully.
mid. Carr has been mid for 5 years longer than Daniel Jones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's
the only reason.
That's kind of the downfall of Derek Carr is that he's older,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you got Jimmy G, who's a little older, and you have Lamar Jackson, who's young.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Daniel Jones is younger than Lamar, but they're probably the same
Actually, they
age.
might be the same
They're probably the same age because Lamar came out in 18, Jones came out in 19, but Lamar was young.
Yeah.
So probably right about the same age. They're probably both 25.
Let's see. Lamar Jackson's 26.
Okay, so that's just a little older than I thought. So DJ's probably 25, 26.
Daniel Jones.
Here, while you look.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's pretty young, man.
Yeah.
That's still young. So like, he showed he could take coaching. He showed a lot. So like, I'm gonna give Daniel Jones a little love. I like Daniel Jones. So guys,
Jimmy G's 31.
isn't that older than you thought?
And who's the
about
last
what
one
I
we were talking
figured.
about?
Carr.
Derek Carr.
Carr's probably 31. Carr's probably 31.
And Derek Carr is 31.
Yeah.
So Derek Carr and Jimmy G are the same age, and then you have Lamar at 26 and Daniel Jones at 25.
All right, guys. So I did a best ball draft. Well, I'm in the middle of one right now. It's one of those long ones. You get eight hours for a pick. So when you're up, you just go.
Yeah.
Who do you think for fantasy football? Because this is a fantasy football show. We didn't really talk about much fantasy football. Who do you think the number one overall pick in a best ball draft was? So if you don't know what a best ball draft is, that's just where you don't have to change your lineup. Like, it just takes your best players that run the team. So you don't have to change your quarterback out. If you have Derek Carr and Daniel Jones, you get whoever scored higher. So it does change the way you draft a little bit, but not much. So first overall pick in March. So even forget it's best ball. Who do you think the first overall pick was in March?
Christian McCaffrey.
You're going Christian, Jay?
Patrick Mahomes.
You're going Patrick Mahomes? Well, folks,
Some guess.
it
We're
was
throwing it out there.
Double J here again.
Justin
That was
Jefferson.
gonna be my
I was thinking that
original-
too,
yeah.
but
I figured that was too obvious. Like,
I
figured someone was
did that
crazy
too,
and was like,
the only reason why I picked McCaffrey is because he's just an overall player.
Well, do
he
you want
catches the ball, he runs the ball, he throws the ball.
You want to hear the top 10? Top 10. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Christian McCaffrey, a name you guys probably forgot about, Cooper Kupp,
No, I didn't forget about him. He's just,
Jonathan Taylor,
what?
Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, wait for it, Bijan Robinson,
Really?
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
What?
Saquon Barkley.
that's crazy.
So
That was the top 10? Really? Wow, that's
So, again,
kind
it's
of
best
shocking
ball.
to me.
It's
Sure,
best ball.
yeah, it is.
But if you think about, like, I know Bijan Robinson going that high is shocking. But I remember Saquon Barkley's rookie year, I took him, I believe, 7th overall. And this guy is coming out touted just as high as Saquon ever was.
Well,
Yeah,
it's also dependent on what team he's on.
But it didn't matter because Saquon went to the fucking Giants without Daniel Jones. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
So, like, but here's the thing that surprised me.
But he also had Eli Manning.
Well, I also wanted to throw this out. So Bijan Robinson, he was picked 10th in this league, and his projection ADP is 12th. So I mean,
Is that a 10 person?
It's 12.
12? Okay.
so because Saquon Barkley was 12. But to see, like, what surprised me was Bijan in the first round, but Amon-Ra in the first round.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to
Right?
me.
But
Jonathan Taylor in the top 10.
Yeah, seriously.
Why wouldn't he be, though? He was just there, and he had an injury season. Let's see. His average ADP...
Because he sucked?
His average ADP right now is 10th. 10.8.
Okay.
And
he got drafted where?
It's 5.
5? Yeah.
And then, so somebody like Amon-Ra St. Brown, okay, his average ADP is 15, so it was a little high. But so even Amon-Ra that high. But, these things will come into fruition. But
Sure.
It was just an interesting first round for me to see that and to see Bijan go in there. But he's ranked... Bijan is ranked, I'm looking on Underdog. Bijan is ranked overall running back wise. It doesn't say right there, but I believe it's 4. So
Wow.
he's coming in as the 4th ranked running back.
Okay.
Impressive.
Yeah, so but that shows you how good Bijan Robinson is.
Yeah.
Because you do get first round pick rookies sometimes. Saquon was, I believe Najee was, or he was close. He was early second. So you're probably going to look at Bijan at late first, early second, and I don't think it matters what team he goes to.
Yeah.
I don't think it does unless he goes to Tennessee and he's behind Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Something like
That's
that.
if they keep Derrick Henry.
But like that's the only way. You know what I mean? That he won't
Right.
be.
Yeah.
He won't be a thing. So I just thought that was interesting. So I wanted to share that with y'all.
Okay. How many rounds are you in this draft
You
so
want to hear
far?
what I got so far? I think I'm only 2 or 3 in. So I picked first,
You picked first overall?
and I picked JJ.
And you went JJ?
But
Okay.
he was like consensus kind of. His ADP is 1.2. So I mean, he's
Sure, that
pretty
makes
much
sense.
first
Yeah.
overall. That means. So right now, read them off. You'll laugh. There's my 3 rounds.
Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Justin. Okay, that's not bad.
Justin Fields.
So JJ
Breece
first,
Hall.
and then you went
I went Justin
Fields.
Jefferson, and then on the turn I took Breece Hall,
Breece
Justin
Hall,
Fields.
and then Justin Fields. Okay.
But it's best ball. So especially with Fields, I would never take Fields in the 3rd round. But in a best ball with his 70-point games,
Yeah.
that's money.
Yeah.
Sure.
So and like Breece Hall, we all shit on him last year. We're gonna take accountability for that in our accountability
100%,
show.
dude.
We
I
all
will
shit on him.
definitely.
He
I mean, I
fucking-
think we shit on every.
He
player
fucking
in the
made
draft.
us eat crow because that motherfucker was electric.
He was good, yeah. And so was Garrett Wilson with dog shit quarterbacks.
So and we kind of shit
And
on him
so
too.
was Sauce Gardner, and I shit on him too.
I don't think I ever shit on Sauce, but
I may not have shit on him directly, but I think I shit on the Jets as an
yes,
organization.
So we were all
a team.
wrong.
We were definitely
We're
wrong
gonna
on the
take,
Jets.
So we're going to take our lumps
Sorta.
on that. But soon enough, maybe next week or maybe the week after, we're going to do our accountability show. I just need to do a little research and to call us out on all our bullshit and maybe some victories.
Time we do research.
And maybe some victories because I know that I've had a few victories. So,
Of course you do.
I definitely did.
well,
Maybe.
anything else, guys?
I think we hit everything, really.
You got anything to say, Jay?
Adam said fuck all Bills fans, so
He
we're
did.
good.
Pretty
He
much.
did. Remember that. End quote. Adam Van
Yeah,
Houten.
fine.
Fuck all
Oh,
them
yeah.
hoe
I
Bill
don't care.
fans.
Yep.
I hope they comment too.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, definitely. Ring the bell.
Ring the bell for all your notifications. And remember, folks, we're not just here on YouTube. You can find us all on all your favorite podcast platforms. And you can check out my brand new channel, Chazz's Rock Record Review. And if you like rock music, check it out. It's my new little baby.
What's
plug.
the album coming up?
When does this come out? Probably later in the week. So we just released our Dio Magica album, and the next release we're working on is one of my bootleg copies, and this is sweet. It's the Ramones live in Buffalo, New York, 1979. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And if you like the Ramones, you probably won't like them live because they play about 10 times faster. They really do. They're all fucking coked out. It's crazy. It's like 24 hours ago, I'm on piece of daily, nothing new, no way to go.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. So,
Cool.
well, guys, thank you for joining me.
Oh, yeah, thanks
Yeah,
for
no
having us
problem.
for this pre-draft.
Yeah, well,
podcast
we have
episode.
Jay,
After you quit for a month.
we're good. We're good. Nobody was watching, and then we got our drafts coming up. That's my wheelhouse. We got all our prediction shows, and just always remember, guys, I bring you on here, but
Your opinion really doesn't matter.
Yeah, we know.
so that's how it goes. So song of the week. Okay, so out of like all my new record reviews I was doing, I'm gonna pick a song that I like that I found, and it's by an '80s metal band called Grim Reaper. And you guys ready for the title of this song? It's called "Suck It and See."
Okay.
So that's going to be the name of this. That's what we're doing. So this is Grim Reaper, Suck It and See. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, maybe next week, maybe the week after, we'll see you then. Peace.
Later, guys.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.